Hello. Good morning, evening, afternoon, etc. Hope everyone is having a pleasant Sunday. Greco. Resubscribing for 7 months, much appreciated. Hello, 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 Julian, hello, Daz, hello, Lime, Sirius, hello, hello, hello. Apologies for not streaming on Wednesday. Need a bit of a break and had some stuff to do anyway, so but we're back today. People filter in and then we'll figure out what we're doing with our lives. I mean, very bold claim. I'm not sure if we're going to figure that out today, but we'll see where we get to. We'll see where we get to. So, Mohammed, hello. Jump straight in with the transition. Let's have a quick recap of where we're at, because I need to remember myself, and then we'll kind of figure out where we're going from there. So let's check it still builds. NeoVim for me. Okay, so this is what we have, the start of our glorious game. Virgil, hello. So we have some barrels and they interact with the player. So the red one moves whenever we move and the blue one moves whenever we move, but in the negated direction, vector. And the idea is you need to get the red one to line up with the red one and the blue one to line up with the blue one, which is actually not too hard because you can just sort of shuffle them into the middle and go back. And they only move when you look at them. So if I look at the red one, this will continue to move and the blue one will stay the same. And if I look at the blue one and move around, the red one will stay in the same place. And this is kind of to start layering up interesting mechanics. Catharsis, hello. Marshall, hello. Or I don't know, bitrot is a real thing. There's definitely code that I've not touched many in quite a while and then doesn't build. So this is all very well and good, and we're all kind of happy with this. But once they actually kind of get out of sync, it then starts getting a little bit more interesting to try and line them up, because they both have to line up at exactly the same time. So now we can make the level more interesting by not having them instantly in the same place, sort of in like a good starting position. So I guess if we kind of line him up and then stop looking at him, we could try and bring him over. I'm actually not sure if I can do this now. But anyway, oh, nearly done it. So if this is kind of what I was trying to get to, where you have to kind of position yourself in interesting ways to try and make things move. Get that lined up with that, and then also I've just realised that these barrels don't take. Do they take into account the direction vector? I feel like that blue one's not moving quite where I want it to be. Anyway, let me reset back to the bit I want to try and do today. We had, I mean, it shouldn't crash, but I think we had like thousands, if not tens of thousands of them working with a physics simulation and in a debug build, so we can have quite a few. So what I want to do is stop this happening. Let me just shuffle myself a bit closer so we can see. I want to stop things being able to pass through each other, because I think this makes this exceptionally trivial, right? Because we can just align them up in the center and then just move them, right? So the aim is to get rid of that. So that's it. So this is level mango. Our Lua script sets up the level, kind of creates the assets in the positions that we want, sets up the state of things to be, has a little update function that we call per tick, and it just checks if we can see the barrel, then move it with the player. If we can see this player, then move it the opposite way to the player. That's all that logic, all that movement is driven via this Lua script. And then we have like how to restart level, and then our is complete method, which basically says if the distance between the 2 red barrels and the 2 blue barrels is less than some small amount, both at the same time, then the level is complete. Hello, Harold. It's actually, the weather it was a bit warm today, but it's not too warm in my office, so I'm feeling okay today. It's quite windy here. So, what I think eventually, possibly, each entity might have a Lua script that you attach to it. I think that's a bit more maybe like how Unity and other engines do it. So rather than having like one level script, you would have a level script which sets up the level, and then that would specify a script file that would go onto each entity, and then each entity would call update on it. So this would be pushed even further down. I'm not interested in doing that now. I don't think that gets us any closer to what we want to do, but at the same time, I also don't want to push a load of collision detection into the Lua script, because I feel like the responsibility of the Lua script at the moment is to set up the level and provide a little bit of logic. The interaction of those entities should probably still come outside of that, because you don't want every single Lua level file, that's fun to say, Lua level file to have to worry about collision detection. So what I'm proposing, what I'm thinking, is in the Lua level CPP file, the one that kind of drives all this, it loads the resources, loads the script, drives the script, kind of all that sort of stuff, sets up the scene. So in the update method here, this is what calls where is it? Update level, sets the barrel's visibility, calls the is complete. What I'm thinking now, because again, I've said this before, the whole point of this really is I want to make just like small incremental changes that push us relentlessly towards making a game. They might not be the right decisions. They should be the right decisions now, but they might not be the right decisions when we get to the end of the game, if that makes sense. So what I'm proposing is that this here update thing effectively treats this update level as a like a projection of the state that the game should be in, right? Which might sound a bit strange, but this is where I was kind of been thinking about it, is that we probably cache like the positions of all the barrels here. We call update level to say, hey, if ever, like, based on your understanding of the game mechanics, which I don't really care about, what should the update, what should the new positions be? And then from there, this will then do additional checks here, like check if they're colliding and stuff like that. And if there's any invariance that it doesn't meet, say for instance they collide, then it will undo the level script. So this is basically like, here is what I would like the state to be in. Let me double check that for you. Some of this might happen, some of this might not, and then we go back around again. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because it means then that we can just write the collision detection code once. So at the moment, I don't think the scripts need access to the collision detection information. Like, again, update level should be like, based on the mechanics of the things that I know about, here is what the state of the world should look like. And then C++ will be like, right, let me verify that against some like additional things that you don't need to care about. That's kind of my thought process. I suspect it is wrong, but right now, because it allows us to quickly get in the collision detection and see what's going on. So we're going to start with that, and I reserve the right to aggressively refactor it later when it's a mistake. That being said, I don't plan a lot I don't really plan these streams, and I don't tend to think. I try not to think too much about them before we start. Often I have no idea what I'm going to do on the day. I just sort of assume I'll figure it out live. However, I have been thinking a little bit how to do collision detection, because we have kind of two choices at the moment. We maintain our own AABB around the object, which we use for visibility checks and culling in the renderer. Part of me thinks we could just do a simple AABB intersection here, but I envision, again, maybe kind of breaking my own rule about being too forward looking here, but there might be things that we want to interact with in the future that aren't AABBs. We might want triangle meshes or something more interesting. And we've already done a lot of work in integrating Jolt, which you can use for, as far as I'm aware, just the collision detection and doing collision queries, like the broad phase and I think the narrow phase, without having to simulate the physics world. So what I think is the correct choice is to bring in Jolt here, tighten up the API a bit so that we can just do collision detection, and then use Jolt here, and then eventually probably just completely gut this AABB with the Jolt shape, and then it doesn't matter what your bounding volume is, right? That's my thoughts. That's what I think we're going to... Well, those are the two choices, right? Do it quick and dirty now, or do it with Jolt. Yeah, exactly. Well, and we're not actually using that middleware in the game at the moment at all. We sort of spent ages integrating it and then never used it again. So I think it's about time to bring it back. So Johnny, I think I totally get your point, and I think you're probably right. But for now, I think this is the right way to make progress. What might be is that we still do the collision detection in C++. So I think that's kind of a given, but then send that information into the Lua script so it can decide whether it can make that decision there and then on a per level basis. Because at the moment we will have to decide what entities to collide with each other, but I think we can kind of get there later. We still haven't integrated the message bus into the Lua script, so it might be that we can just post a message on there saying this entity is now colliding with this. The Lua script can register for those messages and be like, oh, okay, I now need to unwind my move. That's my plan. Let's go for it. So something cache cache entity positions check collisions update world update game state, which might mean writing back into the Lua script. It's not really perfect, but I think it's probably enough to get going, because I would like to basically remove our own custom AABB and just to commit to using Jolt's one, possibly. I think that's what I want to do. So I guess we need to kind of look at the physics system. It's been a while. We wrote loads of code for this, and we have not looked at it in quite some time. So we can create a physics system. So I think each level will own a physics system, because that means when you reset it, you can just reinitialize it, reset the state. And then we can reuse the debug renderer as well. So that kind of also helps, maybe, because I think you can also render collision points in Jolt, although that might only work if you're doing the physics simulation, but still, we'll get there. So I'm hoping we can just like create shapes and then do something like query for collisions. Each barrel will effectively be a very primitive that one character controller, the one where you don't update the you don't rely on impulses and forces, you move it around the world and have to manually resolve the collisions. Kinematic, nailed it. Okay, so what let's find some docs. Let's see what we've got. Have we got any documentation on this? Can I pinch anything from the Jolt? code that kind of helps us get here, because I'm kind of even thinking what I'm going to need to return like a collision pair. So I guess I want to be able to give it. I think what I want is something like auto query collisions, right? Shape star. Shape stood vector const. I think I want something like that, right? Given a shape. Sorry, my mug's in the way. Given a shape, or all the other shapes that are currently colliding with it, and then I can kind of make a decision based on that. Because we might want layers. We might want to say, oh, only red barrels can collide with red barrels, or red barrels can pass through red barrels, which might be an interesting mechanic. So let's have a look on here. They have a bunch of examples somewhere. Samples? Pretty broad phase? I mean, I'd hope all my distributions are balanced. I think there's something like broad phase query. That's what I want. Where are we? So interesting. Okay. Interface to the broad phase that can perform collision queries. This is what I want. These queries will only test the bounding box of the body to quickly determine a potential set of colliding bodies. The shapes of the bodies are not tested. Then we can use the narrow phase. So the broad phase uses some sort of assumptions or internal acceleration structures to basically remove false. You might get false positives, but you won't get false negatives, right? Like if it says they're not colliding, they're definitely not colliding. However, if it says they're colliding, they might also not be colliding, if that makes sense. But it's faster to get that, narrow that down, because the narrow phase is the expensive bit. It's normally have to do the per whatever, per triangle, per whatever collision. So, but I don't want to implement. There must be something that implements the broad phase query. Ah, see. So they looks like they use a quad tree. Might be a slight documentation reading day today, but I'm sure we'll get there. General. I wonder if the Oracle can help me. In the physics engine, can I query for collisions? Okay, right. This says I should use the broad phase query. So this is something like, okay, let's start with this, okay, and go to the physics system. Character collision, okay. Okay, so keep the compiler happy. Okay, now we've got a happy compiler. Let's have a think. So const auto impl I don't know why my autocomplete's not working. That's going to be useful. Do I have just a... I do have a physics system. Oh, sorry. Const auto broad phase equals import. Here we go. Here we go. Physics system. Get broad phrase query. What does this give us? So this gives us a broad phase query object. This is vanilla. Okay, I was kind of hoping that might take me to the broad phase query object definition, but that's fine. I'll do it the hard way. Let's go broad phase query. Well, actually, no. Was that not just what we were looking up? Right. Okay. So this will give us an implementation of this, which means we can then do collide AAB box point orientated box. Interesting. But you can't actually do anything more clever. I wonder how you do like triangle intersection, or is that in the narrow phase? What's the narrow phase query look like when it's at home? Class that provides doing precise collision detection against the broad. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, fine. So this is not clear. Class that provides an interface for doing precise collision detection against the broad and then the narrow phase. Unlike a broad phase query, the narrow phase query will test shapes and will return collision information against triangles, spheres, etc. Right. Okay. This, correct me if I'm wrong. My interpretation suggests that I don't need the broad phase if I'm using the narrow phase. It includes that for me. No, the reason these are virtual, I suspect, is because internally Jolt has its own implementation, which might vary depending on how you've configured it. It might have like an octree accelerator, it might have a BSP accelerator. Do you know what I mean? How it determines to do the broad phase query is kind of up to Jolt, which is why you get back effectively a interface. Well, not effectively, it's why you get back an interface over that. That's my interpretation of this, is that you don't provide this, Jolt provides this for you, and the implementation detail is exactly and precisely irrelevant to you. Presumably you can change it. I wonder if Broadface has... Yeah, see they've got like a quad tree, so they might have like a BSP tree or portal or whatever the other ones are, I kind of forget. Okay, so this suggests we don't need to do this. This looks not too bad. So don't worry about this, because that should do it for me. Collide point. Check if in point is inside any shape. So this tests all shapes are treated as if they were solid. It's a lot of arguments. So there's a lot of those are filters. Collide a shape with the system. This is what I want. Collide shape. Ah, here we go. Right, so I give it a shape. And some arguments. And what do I get back? Oh, a collector. So does this collect the collisions and allow me to query it? What's a collide shape collector when it's at home? Sorry, this is how I read code. This is quite organic. This is just me kind of figuring this out as we go along. Yes. We have discussed the difference between the broad phase and the narrow phase. What I'm saying is whether I need it, because this suggests that it does both within this. We could just do broad phase to start with, because we've only got ABBs, and then we could change that later, because this looks kind of exactly what I want. The only thing is, like, I would have to know all the shapes to collide with, because I'd have to effectively call them on every single one, whereas this collides a shape with the system, any shape within that. I presume you can filter that. Collision collector.h. Thank you. I have people to look up my documentation for me. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Collision detector is a class, so you'll get back, so it'll fill in this, right? When running a query through the narrow phase query class, this will be called for every body that is potentially colliding. It allows collecting additional information needed by the collision collector implementation from the body under lock protection. So I will have to implement this, right? This is what I will implement this. I will add an onBody method, which will get called per body. I will then extract the shape out of that, and then I think we're good to go. Okay. I'm gonna try the narrow phase because I think ultimately that's what I want, and I think the API is actually more in line with what I want. And we're not got a lot of shapes, so I'm not too worried about performance. But I think we want reasonably accurate collisions. So can I now do get narrow phase query? Okay. So let's have a look, see here. So we're going to do get narrow phase, and then we're going to do narrow phase. This pointer. It is not. Narrow phase dot. There's also collect transform shapes when it's at home. Collect all leaf transform shapes that fall outside. No, I don't want that. No. That's not what we want. Collide. Collide shape. And then I'm going to give this my shape, and then it's going to complain because I've not given it nearly. Expected 6. Okay. Right. Let's do this. So I want an in shape. At least you know what. At least they're documented. I'm totally on board with that. You can have as many arguments as you want, as long as you tell me what they are and how I get them. Scale in local space of shape. I suspect I want that to be 1. Vec 3. Sorry. Jolt. Oh man, it's been so long since I've written any of this. JPH, isn't it? Vec 3. 1.0f. We're a third of the way there. Raven, hello. Well, we can all suffer together through our personal projects. I wish you all success in your many ventures. So yes, again, we check the documentation, and the narrow phase automatically does the broad phase for you, which is why I'm just doing the narrow phase, because according to their documentation, it will internally do the broad phase for you. So I'm kind of cool with that. So the next is the center of mass transform. Center of mass transform for the shape. So I don't know how to get that. I guess I have to pass it in because a shape is. I think a shape is effectively model space. It just encapsulates the pure size of the AABB in this case. Where it exists in the world is not part of the shape. It would normally be part of the rigid body that it's attached to. Well, no, this is it. I think this is center of mass transform for the shape. I don't think shape owns the transformation. I think the rigid body owns the transformation, and then internally, whenever you use that with a rigid body, it would pull this out of that and pass it in. We can have a look, right? Shape. Native handle. Yeah, it's got no concept of a transform, whereas if we find something with a rigid body, rigid. Where's a good one? Yeah, look, you can get the position and the rotation from the body, but I don't want to use a rigid body because I'm not simulating physics. I don't need a mass, I don't need friction, I don't need any of that. I literally just want to use the shape. I do find it strange that it does seem like a strange design choice, but I guess is there ever a reason to do narrow? I guess from the point of view of the library authors, is there ever a reason to do narrow without first doing a broad? I mean, there probably is, but I suspect it's quite niche. Okay, fine. I think we can literally fix this by making it our problem in the future by just saying include maths. Then move transform over. Interesting. Okay, that should definitely be in maths. One to fix later. So shape and const transform. Okay, and then transform.h, and then const transform. Okay. I don't think I have a way of converting these two yet, so let's go to the old Jolt utils. Oh, I hope Jolt is column major, otherwise that's going to explode. Okay, fine. So we should be able to do. Auto to Jolt const. Absolutely none of that at all whatsoever. No. Transform becomes a what? bloody type does it want? It wants it as a mat44. Okay, then I'm going to suck up the linker error and carry on. Okay, just going to push that linker error off later. I think 20% is generous. It wants R will be real. Okay, but yeah, let's be specific about that. I suspect they're probably aliased, but we can have a quick look. I think someone just subscribed. Null pull. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Glad you're here. Hope you're enjoying it. Okay. RMAT44. Not in here. Okay, fine. Oh my goodness, nearly modified their code. Okay, fine. Let's do R. I wonder what the difference is. Okay, it is the same. If it's, but we should be specific. So good shout. Okay, tap 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 tap. And then I want my collision shape settings. What's that one? Is at home. Not the best comment in the world. I mean, probably nil point for me on that. How would you describe the collide shape settings? It's just settings, mate. Is that a thing I can get? I bet this is, I bet, box shape. I've got it here. I bet it's this, because I think, what other shapes have I got? Cylinder shape. I think each of them have their own settings. No, you go on. No, this game will not be multiplayer. At best, it will be single player. We use column major vector symmetries. Nice. Nailed it. So do I. Now, after I fixed it. Yes, at best, single player. I'm really hoping there's a base shape settings that I can... are they all convex? What am I doing? Think convex shape settings. I think this is fine. So I think I can take my shape interface. And I can do... Oh, what am I doing? Already return it. Already return it. I thought I was returning something else. That's fine. We can stick that right in the physics hole. Oh mate, what's my first argument then? So that's my shape, isn't it? That's never going to work. Okay, let's go back to box shape. What have I got? What do I have? I like passkey because it's more restrictive than friend, and I think general, I would say C++ philosophy is you should use the least powerful thing that you need for any given task, and passkey is less powerful than friend, so I kind of like it. It also allows you to restrict just method calls as well, which we've used before, which I think is quite nice. Ultimately, it probably doesn't really make a difference for all the internal code that we control, but I think it's quite nice. This is it, yeah, and also it involves a template. So like, how could you not like it? Right, what am I doing with my life? Where do I get the shape from then? So now I'm very confused because I need the shape to test, but I have the shape settings. And then these all default. I literally just have to get here. What is shape? Very philosophical question. What is a shape? How does one shape? Is there anything in the rigid body that expects a shape, or is it all just? Because in this you pass in the shape here, and then this takes the shape body creation settings. Takes a. My goodness, that is not formatted great. Has the shape settings. The hell is a shape? The hell is a shape? So whilst passkey there is a certain burden on, I guess, documentation and knowing the idiom, which is a downside, but I think it's kind of more explicit than just carte blanche like friend, which might do all sorts of stuff under the hood that you're not aware of. At least with passkey, you're like, oh, I know who has access to this at this point, but again, it doesn't kind of involve you knowing what the idiom is. Right, we're gonna have to go through the docs now and try and find out what a shape is when it's at home. Is this gonna work for me? Sometimes GitHub's symbol thing is really nice, and other times it's not. No, mate, it's just a shape. It's not forward declared, is it? Okay, could be anything. Shape dot collision shape. Box shape. Okay. I suspect rigid body is doing this internally. We give it the settings and it goes, I need a shape, I will construct it for you, which kind of feels to me like we need to refactor the rigid body code so that we pass it a shape rather than shape settings, which I don't know if you can do, or we will just, it's pretty trivial to construct one. The only problem is though, this will massively break our interface because I just want back a base shape. I shouldn't be constructing these in the collision section. Ugh, lame. Right, okay, fine. One thing at a time. Let's go to rigid body. And is there a settings? Aha. Here we go. Now we're onto something. Let's have a think about this. All these arguments look the same. Right, refactor time. Let's go to shape. This will now become a shape. Okay. And box shape will now become a shape. And this here will own a box shape. Okay. And so we will still need to construct this from a box shape settings. I don't know, the hell is a shape result? There's a shape result. Doesn't exist. I've lost where I was now. Collision, shape. No, this is for the no, physics. Oh, where was I? I've literally. Shape. Here we go. Box shape. Yeah. Okay. Complex shape. What is a shape result? Computer. Hello. Great joke, by the way. I appreciate that. Yes, there is a base shape. Base shape. Right. Have you? Do you? Right. Ah, mate. Shape result is just a result of a shape. We're done. We're out. It's gonna give me. This is the. Bet this is like its internal reference counting thing, which is going to be a massive pain to do. Yeah, I think result is like their error type, but they're more interested in ref, which I think is like their reference type. So it means I have to be careful about the lifetime of it. I think it's like a shared pointer. So I need to. Do I now need to make this a APH ref? The problem is though, is like to determine whether this works, I'm probably going to have to change all of them just to later realize that it doesn't work. Let's do namespace. Auto create shape. Const game vector3 dimensions. And then we're going to return. Nope. We're going to do auto result equals JPH ref JPH shape box shape. I don't know if it supports incomplete types and allows the figures out for inheritance. Okay, then we're going to do const auto settings equals shape setting. Probably want to be more specific, actually, don't we? Box shape settings game to jolt dimensions. Right. And then we should be able to do const auto Actually, I think we need to give it a name, do we? can just do GPH AC. Still keeping up the membership. Thank you very much. We'll have to have a quick look at what it does. I don't think it's intrusive because it's a wrapper, right? I think it's ref is just equivalent of a share pointer. I think we'll have a quick look. Or it might be like a unique pointer. I honestly can't remember. We'll have a quick look in a minute. But so what I want to do is do box shape, right? Settings result. Return result dot, is it like get? Or just return result? Why is it not like that? Shape. Box shape. There's a box shape settings and a shape result, out result. Interesting, interesting. Because then I should be able to just do something like box shape. Box shape. Something to do with embedded means it doesn't reference count it, I think, and then you maintain ownership of it. Yeah, maybe next project we'll take down GitHub. Just adds a large value to the count. Does this mean we were leaking it before then because we were having it as embedded and we weren't ever cleaning it up? Maybe I just didn't understand ref. Anyway, what I want to be able to do is just do something like create shape, dimensions. Alright, and then native handle becomes this, and this just returns. I'd have it just be a pointer under the hood, so box shape. And this is never going to work. Right. Let's go. Let's get some compiler errors and start trying to fix this. Okay. So what is we've done? Well, I mean, we have done a rendering engine. It's not great, but it sure is there. Class for automatic referencing. This is the equivalent of a pointer to type T. Interesting. So it is wrapping a pointer. If you assign a value to this class, it will increment the reference count by 1 of its object. If you assign something else, it will decrease the reference count of the first object again. If it reaches a reference count of 0, it will be deleted. So yeah, this is what we want. This is. So is there like a get? I can cast it. Get pointer. That's what I want. So I want to do box shape. Get pointer. So the class will still own the reference, the single reference, but we'll hand out a pointer to it. Let's give it a go. Yeah, although SharePointer has some the implementation of stood SharePointer has some type erased horror into it, so you can if you pass in a derived class, it will actually remember that type, even though you only talk about it in terms of the base class, which means it's still to delete it via the base class, even if you don't have a virtual destructor. the sphere shape 25. See, this is what I might do is just think I might be able to just comment these out for now, because obviously all the interface has changed and I want to try and get it working for one first before I go back and change all the others, because I think we'll just get confused with all the compiler errors. I don't think I rely on any of those types anywhere, or if we do, I'll settle for a link error. I believe that's standard ease, because if you go to yes, the pointer type is templated on Y rather than T. I think there's some verbiage in here as well. Y must be compatible to T. Yes. Uses the delete expression delete pointer as the deleter. Y must be complete type. The weird one is the which one is it? This one, the aliasing constructor. This is the weird one. This allows you to pass in a shared pointer of a different type and a pointer to an element within that, and it will keep the reference alive through this to allow you to access this element. That's the really weird one, and I've never seen a use, like a real use for it, but it sure is there. But yeah, it's kind of good to know. It's a fun interview question, that. How we're doing. AC's been a member for 10 months. That's mad. Have we really been doing that this long? Did you change shape and box shape? Change it to what? Just a few errors. Just a normal amount of errors. Okay, hang on. This is. Yeah, there's very little uses of shared pointers. Shared pointers it's a bit of a crutch for lazy design, because it's so easy to use and it doesn't leak memory. But yeah, if you take the time to think about ownership and think of smart pointers in terms of ownership, then actually a lot of it you can normally pull out. You can normally pull out a hierarchy. Something multiple threads. You don't know who's going to exit first. Maybe shared pointer then, but even then. Not. I'd have to see the specific example. Oh my goodness! Right. Okay. Something's still including. Who is including sphere handle.h? Because that's gonna make it upset. Does physics system? Why have I got a random sphere here? Look at that. I think that was left over for some debug code. I think that was maybe like the bullet thing that we could fire to knock things over. Yeah, I'll cut that to a short. Although, like, I am slowly cutting up all the shorts from these live series, and I think I'm still in 2024 because I can get like 3 or 4. I can get 3 or 4 shorts out of a live stream, so nearly a week's worth from each one. So I'm never going to catch up. So I guess in like a year's time, you'll see that one come up. Right. Okay. Physics system. Blah 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 blah. Cannot convert initialize this to. That's fine. That's. I mean, that's Jolt's code, not mine. So actually, back to this. Do I need the shape settings and the shape? Oh, this is gonna go on for it's a multi-stream job, boys, I think. Narrow phase query. So when I'm doing in shape, no, that's shape. Where's the collect shape? I need the shape and the collide shape settings. So I need both. Why do I need both? Right, I guess I'll just give it what I want, but I'm not happy about it. So this should become native handle, because that's now a shape. This doesn't like this because we're going to go 1.0f, 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 right? Okay. It's going to like that, and then I now need to go back to my shape. Didn't actually finish checking fixing any of these errors, did I? Let's go back through this, try to be a little bit more methodical than what I'm doing. So what is it not like about box shape? 28. That is precisely the initializer. Where? Hey? Right, so this is saying hang on. Managed to get rid of me with my build. Window build dot. Right, sorry about that. Had a little bit of a mare there. Okay, so it doesn't like. I mean, I can see it doesn't like this, but I thought the box shape documentation was very clear that it wanted this one. So it doesn't like one of these. Oh, interesting. We could just give it the half extent and bypass the need for the settings at all. Can you then get the settings out of this? Does convex shape have a way of getting the settings out of it? I just feel like I don't need any of this, right? In fact, if I just construct it here, then I don't need any of this result nonsense. I'll just own it myself. Alright, so right, so if I do 2 jolt dimensions, okay. Right, get rid of all this rubbish. This then becomes third address of Okay, right. So physics. Yeah, okay, fine. So now we're back to where we were before, which doesn't like this. That's fine. Okay, so this is happy. I really want to find a use case of this. Let me just, can I? Oh, I've already got it. Okay. I've got some local changes. Fine. What? I don't want to. Look. I do not care. Git merge hard origin. Just give me the latest code. Not merge. Sorry, git reset. Okay, right. Whew. RG. What was it I was calling in the physics system? Collide shapes. Really? Ah, because it's shape. Right, there you go. I wonder if anyone's called this. Okay, well, just don't be a dick about it. Just let me. That's the implementation. These are all the shapes that do it. Interesting. What's samples? Here we go. Samples, sample app, collide shapes. Right, let's find that. That's so I don't have to sign into Git, by the way. No, was it sample app? Samples app. Okay. This can do one. Right, okay. Shape. Here we go. Right. Here we go. Is there something different? I don't think this is going through the narrow phase. I think this is calling it on a shape. What I'm trying to work out is like how you expected to manage the shape settings. Can you derive them at the point you need them, or are you expected to just haul them along with you? I don't mind. I just want to know what is expected. So this interesting. That's what I want. S1 creates the translation. What's settings? Oh, interesting. Is it just like default mate? S1 I mean it's not. What do you mean it's not there? Wait, come back to that. One thing at a time. And then I guess we just do what auto settings equals JPH collide shape settings. I wonder if we've got this wrong. I wonder if this is different to shape settings. I wonder if this allows you to provide overloads of, like, provide additional information about how to do the collision once. Where does that live? Where? Right, okay. I don't know where this lives. It's got to be somewhere in shape, right? Collide. Collide shape settings, here you go. Here you go. Right, so this is specific information on how to do that. Okay, so we got that one wrong. That's fine. Well, let's be real. I got that one wrong. Okay, more includes, please. More includes. I'll have a jolt, physics, collision, collide shape, please. I'll have one from the top, two from the bottom. Okay, settings. Just include all the things. I need them all. This translation unit is hungry. Okay, so where do we get to with the example? And wherever the start is when it's at home. I think I'm actually nearly there, so let's in base offset. All hit results will be returned relative to this offset. It can be 0 to get results in world position, but we are testing far from the origin. You can get better precision by picking a point that's closer. Interesting. That's cool. Okay, so we're going to do a vector, and then we can finally implement our collector. Okay, fine. So let's do JPH H3. I don't know why I don't have like the statics that this seems to have. Like so I have S0, but I don't have S1. It must be in a different header file. S1 equals. If I just use S1, it's going to give it to me wherever it is. There you go. Have I not got vec3 included? Surely. Out of all this. Nope. Okay, fine. To jolt core math 3. It's literally not in here. Right, whatever. You can do one. Right, okay. Getting angry now. I want a collide shape collector. That's what I want. Right. Collision collector. Oh, where's the collide shape collector when it's at home? Oh, RG class collide shape collector. Where are you? I'm sure we've seen it because we've definitely seen it somewhere because we were looking through the members of it. I got it. Don't just have to have open a tab, do I? Collision detector. This is the broad phase one, right? Because it has the. Is it on body? We were literally looking at this earlier. Probably too much to ask that they've actually included it. Where's my coat? What? Whoa, what's happened there? Have I... Can anyone else... Am I broadcasting this? On my OBS, I seem to have a massive bunch of includes slapped over this. Let's just switch that off. I clicked and dragged too hard. Well, GitHub's now broken, so that's exciting. Oh my goodness. I'll get really aggy with this in a minute. Okay, right. What was I after? I want a collector. Collision collector. Haven't we just been through this? Isn't this the broad phase one? Collision collector. That one? The collide shape collector. Yes, I will. I might end up defenestrating this. Right, where's contact collector inherits from collide shape collector? Right, and that was in character.h. Character.h. Collide shape collector. Right. Where's... Right, okay, so that's there. I just want to know where this comes from. So character implements the collide shape collector. Oh, here we go. What's this? Shape. There's a collision detector. It's a sorry, okay, fine. I think we got it. I think we're there. Let's go to obviously it's in shape. Oh, is this right? Using collide shape collector as a so I do just want to after all that, I think I just wanted the collision detector. So it is one of these just templated on a shape result, and one of these is. That's fine. We can do that. We can do that. That is a thing we can do. So let's bring in shape. Jolt. Physics collision shape, right? That gives us the templated, the alias with the correct templates in, and then we can just go Let's do struct simple collision collector and that will be a JPH. What did we call it in the end? What came from shape? Collide shape collector. Okay. And then from there, I think all we care about is on body. Auto on body const JPH body. Is it const? Nope. Void override. Yeah, I think it comes from French, right? Because isn't fenêtre French for window? So it literally means to de-window something, de-fenêtre it. I can probably, if it's French and Germanic, I don't know. Is that what's the common language root there? Maybe Latin? Question mark. It's always the Latins. Okay, right. So now I can do auto collector equals simple collision collector and pass that in. Oh, we're getting there. Abstract. What more? Which of these do I have to? What are the pure virtual ones? Come on. Does it have an empty? Oh, it does have. Sorry, I'm trying to work out why. I gotta do an add hit. This one records every hit found. Up to you, mate. But I sure will make you call it. Okay, fine. Anything else I desperately need? I think it's just this. Okay, right. So does this does this blend? We also need to do something with those callbacks, but like right, what you cannot convert all the argument types. Physics. Give me a line number. Give me a line number 225. One of my favorites. Fine. Apparently that doesn't exist either. Whatever. Do not care. Ah, yes. Although it seems to like it this time, so maybe I got it wrong before, but alas, the linker error has come back to bite us. Hoisted by my own petard. Right, how do I shove? like 16 floats into this. Okay, fine. Obviously, you're not going to tell me. Alt. Math. Only got one math. One day they'll be able to afford more than one math. For I just want the interface. I just want to know how I shove. Okay, S load float 4. They're not a constructor that takes it. Okay, fine. So return JPH map 4 S load float 4 transform dot const auto mat equals static cast matrix 4 transform dot we're going to have a data. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while since I had a double data. Types pointed to unrelated. What the hell is a JPH float 4 when it's at home? I thought it was just an alias for a float. Of course you're not going to tell me what it is. Oh, it's a class. Oh, how exciting. It's a... Oh, that's not what I want at all. I don't want any of that. I want nothing. I will have none of that. Just give me a... I have 16 floats. And I just want to give them to you. Is there literally no way of me saying, trust me, here are your floats? Right. Okay, fine. Which 4 is it expecting? Is it expecting a row or is it expecting a column? Just, oh, ugh, I hate that. Yeah, I think problem is I don't think my matrix class I do have a row, but I get the rows, not the columns, because I needed it for something else, which means I'm probably just gonna have to or something ranges. I don't know if you can split it into groups of 4. I don't think you can easily do that. Let's have a quick look. What have we got? What have we got? Ooh, chunk view. Well, now you're talking. I could can we? But can we though? I don't know if this is implemented yet in MSVC. Let's do map.data pipe to stud views or chunk. So that would get us four U's, and then we can do const auto cols equals. So now I can iterate through those and get each 4 chunk. Does it get back as a 2? Does it get back as a tuple for each chunk? Or is it just itself a subrange? So if I can get each of those ranges, can I construct each of those into the columns, into the whatever it is it expects? It's half an hour left to the stream. This is my fun bit now. Okay, I've been battling with this for the whole time. I want to see if I can do this in miserable ranges. Can I convert these into vectors? Cols equals chunks type to stud views transform auto chunk return jph vec4. But no, wait a minute. What? No, I don't want that. I want the float. What was the static one they had? It was like float 4, which was a XYZW into float 4. Mate. Oh, that's what I wanted. I needed the code all the way over there. And then I can do stud ranges data cols. I guess because it can't guarantee the range is contiguous. That's fine, because stood ranges to stood array. I don't want to do dynamic memory allocation for this. Yeah, but I want this range to be contiguous. Yeah. Can I do something like it might not be possible, this, or it might be beyond my understanding. Float for 4. Oh, is it views rather than ranges? No, it's ranges. I feel like it's close. Although actually, I'm not convinced this will work because there's no guarantee that this will be contiguous. Ah, thank you very much, and CQ, kind word. Thank you. I mean, at the moment, I don't think I'm a great bastion of content or development practice, because this could have been solved with a simple mem copy about 10 minutes ago, but here I am toiling away, doing a bit of stunt C++. I am like 99% convinced that I can do this. Can I... I just want to forward it as arguments, right? Can I... I just wonder if I'm at odds with what I'm trying to do here. So I can chunk up my vector into 4 chunks. I can probably convert them, I think, into that. I cannot guarantee it is contiguous, but what I could do is do... Oh, hang on. Whoa. Okay, how about this? I'm not convinced this is this is at this point any better than what I had before. Because I really would like to do it without the loop. Does that blend? I mean, it's interesting that, so here's the interesting thing, right? This, it knows is contiguous, presumably because this it knows is contiguous because it's a span, right? This must preserve that contiguousness of it, but after anything I do after this, it doesn't. Oh yeah, like I mean, all this is looping anyway. It's not as elegant as I would have liked. I would have liked to have done it with one more bit of ranges. I just feel like the bridge between this and this should not be this. But I can't think of any other way of doing it. But yes, this transformation won't allocate memory. It will not be contiguous because it will be lazily evaluating them. So that does make sense. We will have to copy them in. Is there? I kind of feel like I want like a. Is there like an inserter? Can I pipe this to? So that, I think what I want is something like stirred ranges, copy, cols, float args. Just check I've got those the right around. Range copy. The thing I want to copy and then the results, yeah. It'd be nice because I'd rather this was const, but I just don't think I can do it. Okay, fine. I'm a little bit happier with that. If it works. Oh, I still got. Right, so back to the physics system. Let's do. Let's just see if we can get this to hang out. Yes, I'm happy now that I've done some ranges. Doesn't take a lot to keep me entertained. Oh Jesus, I forgot about this horror. What the hell is all this? Okay, right, so let's go back to Lua level. Still working on this. Okay, let's bring in some stuff. Let's do. Oh wait a minute, did I ever repatch in rigid body? Oh, I guess it just works, doesn't it? Because the native handle has changed. Ignore me. Ignore me. So let's do. Physics system, and we'll give ourselves a physics system PS, and then probably like std vector of include physics shape. Shaped stars. Again, this will eventually be munged into the entity, and we'll just bridge the physics system and the graphics system entirely. At the moment, they're separate. I think we'll just smash them together at high speed and see what falls out. Physics system hash include physics box shape. Okay. I'm definitely going to want a vector. Look. 2 hours later, we have nothing is incredibly offensive. How they... It's true, but I don't have to like it. Don't even give that a name. Is that just... I did call it shapes. Okay. Alright, now I've got to figure out how to do all this. Okay, so we'll go through the barrel count. And then we will do shapes dot. Because we're going to need to. Oh, Christ, we're going to have to wire up the debug renderer to this as well, which is a bit of a pain. I wonder if we dependency inject the physics system in. No, because I kind of want it to. Anyway, get that later. We'll ham it in. Push in place back. Actually, what am I doing? Pushback as an R value reference overload. PS dot create shape box shape what was entity bounding volume 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. A? Why is that not A? What's going on? Entities is an entity. Sure, I would agree with that. Oh, it's got a constructor, that's why. It calculates the ABB for you, doesn't it? We did all that code to calculate it. It's fine, it's fine, because we can... have I got a difference? As box shape dimensions, which are those are the half dimensions from the center. How do I convert the min and max into the extent? Do I need to average their points to give the center? And then no, I just need the min. I just need to subtract the max plus min over 2 plus min. Is that? If min was -1 and max was 1 on any of the angles, I would need the result to be a half. No. No, I would need it to be 1, right? Because 0 to 1. I've really confused myself now. What are these dimensions? What's the... Is it the... It's the half width, half height, and half other one, isn't it? Zero to 1, 1/2. Yeah, okay, fine. I think that's right. Max minus min over 2 plus min. I should have kept this consistent. This is on me. And then I should be able to do what we're saying. We're doing something like ent dot AABB dot max minus AABB dot min over 2 plus AABB dot min. Okay. What does create shape give me? Oh, it gives me like a T. Oh, Christ. Okay, fine. I honestly don't. Why is it not? Okay, fine. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. Just stick that right in there. Yeah, sorry, I was quickly adding the float operator there. Sorry, it looked like I was just smashing some code away. Oh, finally, we've done it. We've done it, guys. We've gotten a nice. I think this might be the 50th stream, and it's taken 50 streams to get an internal compiler error. Oh, wow. Right. Okay, fine. We've done it. Guys, we've done it. Okay, so now I should be able to do shapes dot pushbacks to move shape. Is it just because my shape is not a movable type? No, because this creates the shape, brings it back. Oh no, I know why. I'm being stupid. This I can't store as the base class in the vector, obviously, because that'll give you slicing. I need to store it as a pointer. Okay, fine. The problem is, right, we've got a factory method here, which takes the type T and some number of arguments and constructs it. So like, this is super convenient because it's like, oh, can you get the physics system on your behalf to create you a box shape, a sphere shape, your favorite shape. It gives you back the entire object, as in like, here is I present to you the box shape fully constructed. That is fine. Problem is, I want to be able to store that in a vector, and I can't store it as the base type because that's just not how C++ works, right? The vector has to know the exact size of the object. So a box shape is almost certainly bigger than a base shape. So it doesn't know that. I'm surprised I got an ice from that. That seems reasonably obvious. So the question now is, like, we're gonna have to keep on trucking with the refactor. This isn't going to work for us. We have two choices. We either offload the ownership to the caller and return it as a unique pointer, or physics system maintains ownership of the shapes because you're asking to create it on its behalf, and it just returns to you a pointer to that after it has stored it. I'm inclined to think the physics system should own it because you have to ask the physics system to create it because of the passkey. It seems to make sense for it to own it. I cannot possibly foresee a system where you would want your shape to ever outlast the physics system because it doesn't make sense without it. Yeah, I don't want to use a share pointer. I think our answer is this, right? And then doesn't know what's inside the import though, so let's just do this to start with. So we get that, and then we do auto shape equals shapes dot in place back. All right. And then return shape.get. And then we can go back to our Lua level. Nope, not that one. But this one. This now becomes const shape pointer again. This then becomes back shape. Software's hard. A decision we made no, I'm going to share the blame on this. A decision we made quite some time ago that's come back to bite us. Oh, hang on, that's not going to work for me, is it? This needs to be stood make you unique T. Obviously. Otherwise, how else would it know what to do? Bang, just a single one. That's sums up how I'm feeling. Kato, hello. This is fun. I'm not. Nah, I just got bugs on. I shouldn't be. No, because emplaceBack returns the element that you put into it. So this should be a so emplaceBack returns a reference to the element that you just put into it, and the element will be a unique pointer. I can't take it by value because I can't copy a unique pointer, so I have to take it by reference. So this will be a reference to a unique pointer, which is why I call .get like this, which should just pop out the thing. Where's this been called from? Lower level 68. So that should be a pointer. Not that matters because I believe auto will deduce pointer type. Have I got a unique? Oh god, yeah. Well, good spot. Good spot. Schoolboy error there. Thank you. Absolutely how embarrassing. How's everyone doing? This needs to be like, we could get a better error by saying like, is it derived of? Or is it like, is base of? Derived from is the concept. So I think the concept is shape equals stood derived from the T and shape. So that will give us a better error. So you will not be able to pass. You will not be able to instantiate this with a template that doesn't derive from type, because make unique won't allow it, but this should give us an earlier and better error. I don't think that's the issue, but I'll do it while I see it. Yeah, I don't want the spinny old school one. What an absolute horror that is. That's just far too many angle brackets. Okay. Cannot convert from game shape star to T star. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a lot going on here. Is the issue that I'm just not told it about shape? Might be a circular. Oh no, because the pass key shouldn't make it a circular reference. If you want a GPU accelerated ray tracer, you'll want some sort of compute shader. So I guess OpenGL or CUDA would be your best bet. OpenGL does have compute shaders, as does Vulkan, so you might be able to do it through that. But I think if you just wanted to offload computation onto the GPU, I think CUDA or OpenGL would probably be your best bet. I'm happy for someone to correct me on that, though. That's my understanding of it. Okay, what's this? What's this? Physics System 41. Oh, I think that's right, actually. I think I just want to return this as the... no, I think I am okay to static cast this. So, shape will be a reference to a unique pointer to a shape, which means shape.get will give you a shape pointer, but I want it as the derived type. So I think I'm pretty safe to static cast that. That is true. Yes, the concept keeps it safe, keeps it secret. Oh, Jesus. Doesn't like the constructor. Delete of an abstract class concept as non-virtual destructor results in undefined behavior. Have I... Oh, have I... I have? What a great... What a great error message. It's not often you get something useful in the error messages. Yeah, we're on a free fall down now. It's not just downhill. It is downhill, but it's as if we're chasing a wheel of cheese, which is a very niche British reference. Was the cheese rolling last weekend? I think weekend before last. As a non... What do you mean? Abstract class as a non-virtual destructor. But it is... Oh. My bad. Just keep adding more C++ keywords till it works. Well, the theory behind at least OpenGL, and I'm not really sure how well that translates to CUDA, is that OpenGL you just write your I think they call them kernels, so like your compute, and then the API allows you to basically say, I want to run this on a GPU, I want to run this on a CPU. It kind of figures it out for you. So macOS has pretty good support for OpenGL, I believe. So it should just work and be able to make use of all your available hardware. Metal will also have a compute shader as well. Getting close. Getting close. What? Something about losing const qualifiers. Box shape, box vector gain consts. Oh, of course. This can no longer be const, right? Because I'm mutating state. Just chip away at it bit by bit. Bit by bit. I mean, trying to build. Right, okay, so now we ostensibly have our collection of shapes. So now in the update, we should be able to do ps dot query collisions shapes index entity dot transform. And that should just log out what we want. I suspect this will probably be the only try I do this night because it's already quite late. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think no. The thing with C++ errors, especially template ones, is you just kind of just get used to them after a while. It's very much you get Stockholm syndromed into it, and then I just know that the error is probably either at the top or at the bottom or somewhere in the middle, and everything else is just rubbish. Did I just? Ooh, it just crashed. The index out of bounds somewhere. Hey, what are you? Oh, that's just a breakpoint. Oh, what hit? So I create my in here, pass it in here. You can see the args. These look like extents to me. These look like floats. This is fine. Goes up, goes up, goes up. And what does it look like about this? Like, It has the values. I know it seems to have padded into a fourth one, but I suspect that's just some internal weirdness. Are they in 0 to 1 chord space? They shouldn't be. They should be effectively world space. Oh, I'm sorry, model space. Is it because... Oh, it could be. Yes, I bet that's why. See what everyone's saying. Am I being stupid? Okay, right. Where's the logs? Let's just... Well, ain't shit colliding. What we'll need to do is we'll need to wire in the physics debug renderer to see where those things are actually going, I think. Although I don't know if you can do that for just shapes without the rigid body attached. I can tell you for free that it's not colliding. There's one last thing, just to be absolutely doubly sure this is a mess of my own making. There is an awful lot to step through and debug here. This is at least another stream. I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem is. Collider shape with the system. None of... Does Joe actually know about any of these? Yes, it's created them, but the physics system itself doesn't know about them. There's no rigid body they're attached to. I need something like a... right, this is great, but like... I need like a shape, like add a shape, right? How else is it gonna... I think that, I mean, tell me if that doesn't make any sense, but like it says here with the system, but the system does not know about this, because if you just go to, say, box shape, right? I just create the box. I just construct it. There's no way the physics system, like, how can this ever know what to collide with? Yeah, I don't really want to create rigid bodies. It just seems like a massive waste of effort to construct for those when we don't need them, because we know I want to use Jolt just for the collision detection at this point. I don't want to simulate it. I'm gonna have to have a go and have a think about it. I think let's just Jesus, right, let's have a quick look. So add new Jolt utils, shape, commit, refactor, shape, attempt collision detection, commit, temp disable old shapes, commit, add divide operator to vector 3. We should add tests for that. What I'm going to do. So first pass integrate collision detection into level. JP, hello. I'm literally just about to end, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much. Right. A little bit anticlimactic. Stream 50. That is outrageous. So many streams, and yet I feel like we're no closer to the end. I think we're pretty good about that, actually. We did quite a lot of refactoring and a lot of moving, again, relentlessly marching stuff towards the end. We're getting there. I might have a little look through, I might peruse at my own leisure of the Jolt documentation to see if I can actually do what I want it to do. Otherwise, I'll just slap a rigid body on it and call it a day. We suppose we could then transform the rigid body to the place, but then you have to pass in the transform. I don't know. I feel like if you're passing in the transform of the shape, then you shouldn't need to have attached it to a rigid body. Yeah, I know, but it wasn't rigid body. Anyway, I'll hang around for an hour or so, or half an hour or so on Discord. If anyone wants to come and hang out. Otherwise, Wednesday we will tackle this again. Thanks everyone for coming along. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you anon.